Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Taurians, let's just take a quick peek at whatever is the message that is supposed to come through for Taurus. What would Taurus most benefit from? We have a Page of Swords, secret library. We have somebody who is perhaps gathering information, knowledge, wisdom. We have a Two of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Swords. You know what I think? I think Taurus is very wisely being an active observer. They are paying attention to what they see in front of them. They are not being unfair, but they are weighing things. They're asking themselves, okay, I see this and that going on. And then I ask myself, do I like this or that? Do I want to interact with this or that? Or would I like to move in a different direction? I think Taurus is going to keep themselves out of the wrong commitment, or they're going to be able to keep themselves out of, sometimes we accidentally, will end up getting roped into stuff we don't want to do because somebody starts out real sweet as sugar and they're so nice. And then we find out after the fact, and once we've committed to doing something that they've asked us to do, that is, we're like, oh God, no, what have I just signed up for? And I feel like this is one of those situations where Taurus is being very careful at considering all angles. They're observing, they're watching. This could be Taurus is going to be dodging, like almost getting involved with a group that they don't want to get involved with. This could be Taurus is, paying close attention to, heck, in a job interview, like really when you walk in and you look around and you see like people look miserable or something, and Taurus is like, yikes, I don't want to work here. Or the culture of something, just of a company, just doesn't resonate very well. Taurus walks in and is like, oh, I don't like the lighting, I don't like the walls, I don't like the uniforms, I don't like anything about it. It just all feels off to me. It could be that Taurus is absorbing the environment, and they're not being judgy, but they're asking themselves, could I see myself doing this? Could I see myself committing to this? Could I see myself happy here? And if the answer is no, then Taurus can move on and be like, yeah, don't care, don't want it. I'd rather go someplace else. And this is Taurus making confident decisions for who they are. It's not about, I have to do this. I'm in charge. Taurus, this is Taurus being empowered. Actually, I really like this message for our Taurus. We have the Star. It also says Taurus is like living their truest, most authentic self by owning their likes, their dislikes, their yeses and their nos. Sometimes that's one of the hardest things in life to do, is to be able to determine, do I like this? Is this okay with me? Would I want to give my energy to this? Yes or no? Sometimes it's way easier to say yes. It's way harder to say no, thank you. It's hard to stand up for ourselves sometimes, but I think this Taurus is able to do it. And what's ironic about this, or maybe I should say very perfect about this, is that as Taurus goes ahead and makes an authentic choice for themselves, stays true to their wants, almost immediately thereafter, better opportunities present themselves. So whatever this is, if it's a job that Taurus is about to, turn down, if it's an opportunity Taurus is about to say no thank you to, because they've really weighed it, they've looked at it carefully, and they've asked themselves, could I see me doing this? Would this really make me happy? I mean, we can do anything. We can suck it up and get through almost anything, but would I really want this? Would this be something that I would want to invest in? And I think this is Taurus realizing, no, I'd rather move along. But moving along in this storyline was exactly what our Taurus was supposed to do, because that's what brings them to a life that is much more fulfilling, new potentials for success. I mean, literally, this could be somebody who passes up on, whatever, a really great offer, somebody who's going to pay them this or that. And Taurus just didn't feel like that was the offer they wanted to say yes to. And then they get a way better offer, 5 days later, 7 days later, 17 days later. A Six of Wands, it feels like Taurus was supposed to bypass something that wasn't right for them and then shoot up to stardom. Taurus would have been playing too small had they said yes to this other situation that they clearly, I feel like this was about job, money, something that could have wound up taking all their time, something that it would have been like somebody wanted. I'm not saying this was taking care of children, but it feels as if somebody wanted to like either hire Taurus or get Taurus to do something that they really cared about, but they wanted Taurus to basically take on 50% of the burden of their thing that meant so much to them, but they wanted Taurus to care about it the way they care about it and put 50% of the burden of getting the thing done onto Taurus's shoulders. Taurus is like, this is going to demand way too much of me. It's going to suck and drain my lifeblood. This is not even my thing. That is their thing. Sorry, no can do. This is like, I will say, as a sister, who, you know, I have obviously siblings, and in particular, I have one little brother that I'm closest in age to. So that means, you know, we have like that close rapport where we were the ones who fought a lot, but also the ones who, you know, help each other out on the crappy jobs. I will help my brother with plumbing. I have helped my brother with all kinds of like terrible stuff because we don't have any other boys in the family. It's all girls and then just one brother. So I'm the one who gets the call when he needs like an extra pair of like man hands, and nobody else is available. So I help him on those things, but there are some things I will not help him in, like his business. I want nothing to do with that. Not my business. Don't want to do it. I'll help you on your yard. I'll help you in your house. We can, whatever, do roofing stuff, but I'm not helping in your business. I don't want anything to do with it. And it's like, there are things, he's too intense. I don't ever want to work for my brother or help him in his business. He would stress me out too bad. No, you get your family involved in that, but not me. So it's just, I'm feeling like sometimes it's even things like that. I'm making some levity out of this because it doesn't have to be a big deal, but I'm laughing thinking of, you know, when somebody cares so much about their stuff and they want you to care about it too. And you're like, thank you, but no, thank you. I draw the line here and I'm going to be much happier for it. And that's what this feels like, is a character who's like, it could be a family member wants him to work in the business and they're like, nope, will not. I would rather go and walk my own path. I will be more successful and a much happier person doing what I want to do instead. And I feel like that's one way we could read this. Two of Swords. What's crazy about this is when Taurus says, no, I do not wish to do this, Taurus doesn't have any idea that something better is going to come along. If this were a job opportunity or something, Taurus does not have any idea that something better is coming. They're just saying, I'm making the judgment call to say no, because this is not what I want in my life. Now, this could have been about, let's say it's about a relationship. This could be Taurus, you know, seeing somebody and they think the person's great. They think the person's intelligent, the person's kind. They could see, I mean, I could get along well with them. I could have a happy life with them, but would I be the happiest life I could imagine for myself? No. And I think Taurus is moving on. I don't think Taurus is going to settle for an okay or even a good. I think that they really want great. I think they really want, well, in this case, we have a soulmate. I think Taurus wants somebody not just that they could have an okay companionship with and be harmonious with. They want somebody that they feel really bonded to. Now I do think we're shifting into romance. At first, I kept thinking this was job or maybe family related stuff. And now I think we're shifting into romance. So Taurus wants somebody they can bond to 100%. They don't want a lighthearted life. They actually want a really intense, really loving, really passionate kind of connection. And we have the Ace of Swords. I think Taurus realizes being mildly satisfied is not going to be enough for them. They want the real person that feels like this was worth waiting for. I don't want to settle for somebody. I'm not desperate for a partner. Even somebody who's nice. If I'm not really crazy about them, no, I'd rather wait. I want somebody who's like the 1 in a billion and who sees me as 1 in a billion, not somebody who's like, well, we could be satisfactory together. That's what Taurus is not going to settle for satisfactory. They want the stars. They want the 1 in a billion love time or love affair, you know, once in a lifetime, the soulmate, the person where Taurus and this person are like, we are in like simpatico. We are meant to be. Is Taurus about to find that then? Because it feels like Taurus is on the horizon. 6 of Pentacles. Why, yes, they are. Taurus is, I would say in the next 6 months, this Taurus this almost feels like it was a test. Like Taurus was faced with something that could have been like, hey, if you'd like to be comfortable and complacent, you could say yes to this. And instead Taurus says, I can't do comfortable and complacent. I'm not meant for that. And as soon as Taurus admits that to themselves and moves forward, not knowing what comes next, I think that cracks open the doorways to Taurus being like, I think they're going to feel a sense of relief, like, God, I'm so glad I didn't say yes to somebody, even though I don't know what comes next. I still know I made the right decision, because I would have been like signing my name to a contract, or, saying that I'll stay with somebody when my heart says this isn't right. There's somebody else, or there's some other kind of connection that I want to experience. So I have to keep looking for that other connection or stay single. But I can't say yes to just a life that I would feel was complacent. And that is no insult or disrespect to whomever this person was. It's just, this Taurus is not, this isn't what they want. I feel like in this message, this storyline, Taurus is going to wait until they meet the person who is like, Taurus thinks they're the best things to sliced bread, and likewise. It's a very shared energy. Let me just get one more card just for them, for that soulmate that Taurus is headed to meet. Ace of Cups. Taurus wants real love, unconditional love. Taurus wants someone, I don't know if Taurus is, thinking about children, or would, is in the place of having children, but let me put it this way. They would build a lifetime with somebody that they're in love with, and they would grow and nurture things with. Taurus wants a kind of person that they would want to, even if it's not possible to have a human baby, they would want to build a legacy together with someone that is based on love and, cherishing each other and cherishing the thing that they build together, because it's, really merging their energies together. And I feel like that's the kind of love story that Taurus wants to have. The person, the soulmate that Taurus ends up with, then, Eight of Swords. They've been scratching their head wondering if they'd ever meet somebody. This could be a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius that has been single for a period of time, not dating in a while, not really having met anybody in a while that they were interested in. It's because they had to meet their Taurus. I feel like this could be somebody who, I don't even know if they're that far away from Taurus. This could be somebody who has been around and Taurus didn't notice them, and they didn't notice Taurus for a period of time. Because they're sitting here in like the windowsill, on the window ledge. So I almost feel like maybe Taurus and this person are practically next door neighbors, but they work different shifts or something. And it's like they just haven't bumped into each other yet. This person might be like, my schedule sucks. When I get off work, it's, I got to go to sleep, but that's when the whole rest of the world is waking up and going about their day. I feel like they work night shift. Whoever this person is, they may have had a hard time meeting anybody, but you know what? I think it's going to be just right. I think Taurus and this person, this is who Taurus is perhaps meant to end up with, and they will find their way toward this person, and vice versa. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.